Clint Eastwood just found out his former teacher is about to lose her home, and what he does next will leave you speechless. Before you scroll away, hit that like button and subscribe, because this isn't just a story about charity, it's about loyalty, shocking secrets, and a life-changing twist. When Clint visited the woman who once shaped his future, he saw desperation in her eyes, but what came next wasn't charity. It was a promise that would shake the very foundation of her world. What if the hero you looked up to became your unexpected savior? Wait until you hear the secret Clint uncovered. It's a truth nobody saw coming. Would you risk everything to save someone who once believed in you? Clint couldn't believe what he was hearing. His former teacher, a woman who had inspired countless students with her wisdom and kindness, was now on the brink of eviction. The rent was overdue and her landlord was ruthless. As Clint sat with her in that cramped, dimly lit apartment, he felt a mix of anger and determination rising inside him. But here's the twist no one expected. When Clint offered to help, she refused. "I don't want charity," she said, voice shaking but proud. That moment changed everything. Clint realized that saving her wasn't just about money. It was about restoring her dignity and giving her back control of her life. So he came up with a plan, a secret move involving a hidden trust fund set up years ago by a former student, now a successful entrepreneur who owed everything to this teacher. What if Clint's quiet intervention could unlock a fortune that would not only save her home but also help countless others in similar pain? Imagine the power of one man's loyalty combined with a secret legacy. Would you believe that a single act could change lives forever? Tell me, have you ever seen someone rise from the edge of despair? Clint tracked down the entrepreneur, a man who owed his entire success to that very teacher's guidance years ago. The reunion was emotional. Tears, apologies, and promises, exchanged in a small cafe far from the spotlight. But the entrepreneur was hesitant to reveal the trust fund he had secretly set up to help struggling educators, fearing the media would twist the story or exploit the teacher's vulnerability. Clint insisted that this wasn't just about money. It was about justice and honoring a legacy. As they worked together in the shadows, a shocking twist emerged. The landlord who was trying to evict the teacher was connected to a larger real estate scheme targeting vulnerable tenants all over the city. Clint's quiet battle was about to become a fight against corruption. What if this one eviction was just the tip of the iceberg? Would you stand with Clint and his former teacher to take down a ruthless system? Clint and the entrepreneur launched a quiet investigation into the landlord's shady dealings, gathering evidence piece by piece. They uncovered secret documents, hidden contracts, and testimonies from other tenants who'd been bullied into leaving their homes. The tension was rising. If the landlord found out they were onto him, he could shut everything down. But Clint's presence gave the tenants courage. Suddenly, they weren't alone. One night, during a tense meeting with the community, Clint stood up and said, "We're not just fighting for one home. We're fighting for every family pushed to the edge by greed." His words hit hard, and whispers turned into chants of unity. But just when it seemed like the battle was gaining momentum, a shocking betrayal rocked the group. A trusted neighbor was revealed to be working for the landlord, leaking their plans. The stakes had never been higher. Would Clint and his allies survive this blow and keep the fight alive? What would you do if someone you trusted turned against you? With the betrayal cutting deep, Clint refused to let their mission die. He doubled down, working late into the night to piece together proof that would expose the landlord and his network once and for all. The entrepreneur mobilized legal teams and the media, ready to blow the lid off the scandal. Then came the moment of truth. A public hearing where Clint's former teacher bravely testified, supported by a wave of tenants and advocates. The courtroom was electric, tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Clint watched as the landlord's facade cracked, under the weight of undeniable evidence. In a final mic drop moment, Clint stepped forward and declared, "No one has the right to steal a person's home or dignity." The verdict came swiftly. Eviction halted, the landlord charged, and reforms promised for tenant protection citywide. What if one man's respect for a teacher sparked a revolution against injustice? Would you stand up when it matters most, or stay silent? Share your thoughts below, because sometimes a single act of courage can change the course of many lives, forever. The courtroom emptied slowly, but the impact of Clint Eastwood's fight echoed far beyond those walls. His former teacher, once overwhelmed by fear and helplessness, now stood tall, her home safe, her dignity restored, and her spirit stronger than ever. The community rallied around her, inspired by Clint's unwavering loyalty and the courage of every tenant who refused to back down. News outlets flooded with stories of the victory, sparking nationwide conversations about tenant rights and corporate greed. Clint quietly slipped away, knowing the real victory was not just in winning the case but in reminding everyone that true heroes stand up for those who once lifted them up. This wasn't just a story about rent or eviction. It was a powerful reminder that respect, courage, and kindness can change lives forever. What part of this story touched you the most? Let me know below, and remember, sometimes the smallest actions create the biggest waves.